Then we don't come to
Yeah. She got that.
Yeah,
I told her where to go. Well,
I
don't fall.
to do an application.
you. That's what I mean, so I think the mayor would have authority to do it without.
I could go get one.
Anyways.
She's gonna, maybe they're both asleep.
You've been out shooting.
So knock on Laura's door.
Well, the only thing is,
I've got a few.
Husk can explain the LTAC application, but I think the mayor can sign that without council.
Yeah, 'cause that's already been
Cause
like,
that, well, that's due November 30. But like I say, it's not spending any money and it's not.
well, it's
you know,
already been approved for him
Right.
to do something.
Yeah, so I think the mayor can sign that without council, so everything else you can roll over.
You're good.
So do you wanna give kind of your
Yep,
reader's digest summary of it?
yeah, I think we were talking about it over here a little bit too, the LTAC stuff, and so it's been since 2015, since you updated the transportation plan.
Hello?
You did your transportation planning study, and typically they like to see that updated.
This is Robin Mitchell. I
Kept up with before they give you the $100,000 in construction money, which is what everybody really wants. And so the idea is, let's see if we can get this updated, then apply for the construction money, so they can have, do that. The construction money, you usually apply,
I
you do
didn't
that
bring
for,
my minutes up.
usually you can do that for, you can apply for, you apply every year, but if you get it 1 year, they're not gonna give it to you the next year. They're gonna rotate it around. They actually put you on a not eligible list.
Space my ear.
We just have to get the time.
And I'm at the red.
Anyway, so if you're successful on the construction money in 1 year, they put you on a not eligible list for the next year. So you can't get it 2 years in a row. And there's some communities have gotten it even up to 3 times before they've had to do the transportation plan update again. They like you to do that. So there's a few questions in here that in order to, I mean, you have a pretty good idea how many points you're gonna get, because they tell you how many points for each question. It's one of those type of things. One of the big things is, they like this multi-jurisdictional planning. And so I wonder if the mayor or Guy or anybody, do you go to some kind of a Benton County transportation planning group? Do you go attend one of those anywhere? Do you get with Bingham County and Firth and everybody and have a little meeting about coordinating transportation planning?
No.
Okay. There probably is a group. I called, just to see if, there used to be, because way back when, 15 years ago, we helped kind of organize those, a bunch of them. And so I called Robert Dial to see if he goes to one, and he didn't either. So I'm not sure what the status of the one in Bingham County is. But if we haven't gone to one, then it's hard to get the points, because usually what happens in them, the only maybe to be diplomatic here. It's really good to plan together when your roads run into the counties and all that kind of stuff. But most of the multi-jurisdictional planning groups meet once a year, just prior to this application, and they rank their projects. Because what's happened is the LTAC board, now not the staff, but the board used to rank these had to read all these applications. They said, we don't want to read those applications. So we want the multi-jurisdictional planning group to figure out which project in that little area that's their number 1 project, and they rank them, what's important to them, and then just send us 1 or 2 applications off the ranked list. So like up in Madison, Jefferson, Madison, Fremont, and the communities up there, they meet and they go through it every year and say, here's our number 1 transportation plan, or number 2 one application, here's our number 1 construction project, number 2, number 3. And the question even says, if you read through it, what was your project ranked in the top, or was your project ranked in the top LRIP projects for your group? So we're gonna miss a bunch of points if we don't have a multi-jurisdictional planning group and the project is ranked. So we're gonna have to kind of sort that out and figure out how we can do it. I'm pretty good at making it, creatively responding to the grant, the questions and grant applications, but So there's a couple things there. Then they want, and they want to know if we've updated our transportation plan and our sign plan, and they give points for that. If you've kind of done some updates on your own in the process. So we may have to, we're probably gonna have to come down and talk to you a little bit more. We may have to come up with an update. Because you can't just say yes, they want you to provide a couple of pages documenting what you updated. And so, it was like, and so I'm looking at it saying, have you ever replaced any signs in the last 10 years?
What?
Have you replaced any signs in the last 10 years?
Yes, couple.
Okay, so we'll get with Guy and say, okay, this is what we've done with our,
8 or 9.
yeah, we've replaced some signs and, and it's a little bit tricky to document that because yours is old enough that may not be in there. What do you think? But LTAC requires you to enter the data into a database that they have called iWork. And so your update has to be updated in iWorks if it's in there. So we may have to figure out how we're gonna answer that particular question. But having replaced some signs, I think we can,
Is that different than like the what do you call it, like the survey thing that they want me to do?
yeah, the road and the street report, yeah.
Okay.
And so, in the process, when we, like I said, we'd like to sit with you, because when we get done with this, they pull numbers off the road and street report, and they're gonna use the 2022 report, not the 2023 report that you have to submit by the end of December. And that one should be, it's already presumably sent in, and you sent me the copy of it, and they pull those up, gets published on the ITD, ends up publishing that. Another thing is, you put in here is letters of support. So it's like a letter from the school district, or a letter from the county, or a letter from the fire department that says, yeah, we think that, the city of Basalt ought to do this, and we support them. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Same thing, we just want to keep you informed what we need, and work with the clerk, work with Guy to say, let's get this stuff so we can, the next week, so we can get a complete application, and try to get as many points as we can. One thing that is favorable is, because of the glut of money they had last year, all the money that our federal government was, they ended up funding almost all the projects. So that means the people who may have submitted again because they weren't successful last year, there aren't many of those. So it may be that the point levels aren't, there might not as be as many as applicants, so we may be able to get in with fewer points. So then this one's again the updates of the payment management plan, updates the sign management plan, and so it's okay if we call and just figure out when we meet Tuesday morning. Tuesdays and Thursdays, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that.
Yeah. But maybe we can kind of plan tentatively for Tuesday morning sometime. We can see if we can get this completed.
Okay.
That's really the update. I know it's quick, but it's just,
So we good, right?
Guess we can start our meeting.
Then you just call your meeting to order, we got a quorum, so.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm trying not to, but it doesn't seem to be working.
I've been gonna buy a coat can for this place. I never have done it yet.
There's one around the table.
There's one.
There's one right there. uses them.
Well,
Right.
what's going on here then?
We'll probably excuse ourselves, if you, I don't know if you remember, but I go to Basalt and I go to Banana most of the time. It's fun, so if I get to you early, that works.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks.
Minutes from the October 23 to be approved. Action item.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for October.
All in favor?
You don't have to work it,
Bills to be approved and paid for November 23. Action item.
I make a motion to approve the bill for, November.
Second it.
I can't, I can't even talk tonight. Second.
You sick?
I just don't feel good.
It's called-
I think I'm trying to catch up.
Mm,
I know.
Catch what?
Cold.
Oh,
All three.
You did not.
He did not skip.
He seconded it. No, you-
oh, proof. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure what this next one is, but
So last month, we talked about the records retention policy. So state law requires you to have one. Robin was cleaning out over on the other corner, and so I asked her, if she could find it, she couldn't. I actually, looking at my emails, and sent it to Deborah back in 2016, so it might be floating around somewhere, but anyway, since we can't find it, we just need to adopt one. This is like, and we can make changes if you feel like you need to, but this would be identical to Blackwood and Aberdeen's records retention policies, and it comes straight out of state code, so there's not really much to change there. So I mean, if you want to review it, and go through it bit by bit, you can, but there's really nothing to change. It breaks it down into your different types of records, and then it directs, essentially when, so when Robin's cleaning out old stuff, we'll make a list, and the council has to approve the destruction of that list. And it's not per document, it'll be like 2018 checks, okay, and listed like that in general terms. So anyway, but this sets it up so you've got it, then you're in compliance with state code, and then when she wants to destroy stuff, you have your policy on how you have to do it.
oh, okay.
So like I said, if you want to review it, we can bump it to next month, but there's really nothing to change. So I mean, I would suggest just a motion to approve the records retention policy, and
I make a motion to approve the, what is it again?
Retention.
Retention,
policy.
records retention policy.
I second it.
All in favor?
I'll email a resolution to Robin that just says adopts Exhibit A. So that's really all the resolution says, but that policy that I have right there for you is what will be attached to it.
Okay.
So that's really all there is to that.
Electronic payment action item.
So we took a survey, and it's kind of funny to see the results, because I know some of the people that have asked probably didn't open their bill that month. They didn't respond. But the no's, more people said no, they wouldn't use it because there was an extra charge.
Yeah. So we're done with that.
Yeah. Just figured.
I found out I do a lot of
Some of that.
payment through my bank, like Tower. And so I just go in and I say, okay, pay this much, and then it automatically goes. So I tried it with the city of Basalt, and they just write out a check and send it in. I don't have to pay extra for it or anything.
It doesn't cost the postage or the check.
That's cool.
So I wrote down city of Basalt, and then I wanted my account number, which was on my bill.
Yeah.
And
What bank is that through?
Commerce.
Connections.
Chase does it too.
A lot of banks to it. I get quite a few of the ones
Really?
around.
That's cool. I think this is like the only place I write a
Write a
check
check.
out to, besides like school registration,
I pay like a few medical
dogs.
bills when you get, you know, like,
Yeah.
you go to the doctor and so on, you have to pay so much, I just,
Yeah.
he doesn't think to cost.
So that's good to know.
Cool.
Yeah.
So do we need to vote to get rid of this, or just let it go the way it is?
Just let it go. I just think like having that in the notes that we talked about the
Oh,
survey.
So now what he was talking about, that is, what's he working on again?
So,
Yeah, so he's just finishing up your LTAC application, which is simply to get the money to update your transportation plan. Because he doesn't think you'll be eligible for any of the LTAC grants until you update your transportation plan. So he'll just, has to be in by the end of November. So there's just a few Ts that need to be crossed and things that he'll get with Robin and finish up.
but it's the same thing that, the other guy Kyle was talking about too.
HLE came last month, they were asking to do the same thing. So, but we'd already approved it, I was pretty sure we had already approved Husk to do that, and so that was why I'd asked Kyle, let me follow up, to make sure where Husk's at, so we didn't have two people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Wonder what that'll cost us.
the grant,
No, what
No,
he's
what
doing.
he's doing.
yeah, that's, I think he's doing that one for free. That's, the water study is like,
what?
was costing me a bunch. But this, 'cause normally they'll do this for you, it's so easy, because they want to do the transportation study. That's where he'll charge you, is he'll get the grant money to do the transportation study, and that's probably relatively profitable, I guess. So, they do the little job for you for free to get the big job.
That engineers have got it figured out, don't they?
You know, if I had it all, they'll do it over again, civil engineering, I don't think would be a bad thing. Because they just, this federal money and state money and, you know, and anytime something goes wrong, it's everybody else's fault, and I mean, I have my personal biases on the civil engineering nowadays, but I won't go into it. I can talk for half an hour on stuff.
Okay, anybody got anything else? You got anything, Guy?
No. Just been writing down meters and stuff like that, so I just started it really good, so I've been doing regular. Checking meters, but checking the main meters too.
What, every month?
No, weekly, some of them daily.
Remember we asked him to get,
Not every
Average.
week, though.
well,
The main ones
If he
have been
does it
doing
quarterly.
weekly or sometimes daily.
You'll have so much information, you know, already.
That's why we have a lawyer.
See, the plan was when we talked to you, to write it down then, and then go 6 months or a year, and then write it down again.
Oh, on the people in town? Okay, yeah.
So, anyway,
well, I would say quarterly, honestly, because water use is different times a year.
That's what you decided on, was quarterly.
you can argue that with your husband.
Well, he was here that day, what did we discuss?
Well, I was the one who told Larry that
To
you should
do
do
it.
that.
Yeah, he's the one that told me how to do it.
We've already talked about this
So is it quarterly?
quarterly,
Quarterly, guy.
but we'll get it squared out.
You can never have too much information.
You can never have too
pattern
many
may
people.
emerge in that information.
Hey, one thing, Curtis, I'll tell you, to store in the back of your mind. I've been trying for 8 years to get a shed built down there by our sump pumps. so we can bring that little generator out of the shop and park it down there.
We talked about that.
And
last
have it
month.
all hooked up, so,
So next summer we'll make that.
Oh, we talked about that last month when you weren't here.
well, anyway.
And I
I'm just-
talked to Husk about that too, and he said that really we should try to like include that in the sewer stuff, like the bigger you make your project, the better.
Anyway, well, I guess
Maybe
that's
that's
it
why it's
then.
taken 8 years.
I guess that's it then.
I made a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Next month it'll be on the 14th
Oh, we didn't talk about it.
of December.
I mean, get together.
Oh,
Get together.
we're having a get together.
I know, but next month we're gonna have another get together.
Should we do
Yeah, the 14th.
the next?
Yep.